On this video, I'm going to talk about growing into the different levels of success as an entrepreneur and the building blocks towards that success. Because if you've not been in business before and you're going from having been working with somebody into your own business, there are some basic things that you need as a foundation, and then you need to understand those steps that are going to take you up to the top, which is where your success will end up. I'm Lucy, and I'm a holistic peak performance coach and speaker. So, one of the first things, if you're coming from that business background and working for somebody, but you're itching to have your own business, and perhaps you know, and perhaps you don't know exactly what you want to do, that is the first thing, right? You need to have an idea of what you want to have as your business. So, looking back at your goals and what is most important to you is really going to make a huge difference to helping you decide what that thing is going to be. Once you've decided that and you really understand what your personal goals are in life, then you can make that business idea and make your passion into a profit. But again, there's still some steps. So that's a baby step, but they're all going to be baby steps. Once you've got that down and you know that that is the area that you're going to work in, then you need to know who you're targeting in within that area. So the area might be this big, but you need to get it smaller and smaller and smaller until you have a niche most of the time. Some people can have a very wide market, and this is the exception to the rule. Generally, we want to be niching down and really being able to speak to that person, that type of person that is going to connect with us at that soul level. So it might be if you're a mum and you've got young children, you're going to be connecting with other young mums with children. If you are retired, you want to be able to speak to people who are retired or who are nearing retirement. So it depends what you're going for. Is it finance and being able to work on your finances leading up to retirement? And so, what age group do you want to hit upon to make sure that there's enough for when somebody retires? If they're already retired, perhaps that's your market. Now, what to do with the retirement pot that they have. So, get very, very specific on who that person is within that niche you've chosen. So, that's the next step up. Then, where are these people? How do they speak? And oftentimes, it's easiest if you really align with that because you've either been through it or you're going through the same thing and you found a solution to the problem that you had, and then you can coach on that, you can speak on that, you can teach on that. Once you've got that down, the language of who you're speaking to, now you're in a far better position. But let's stay with language for a moment because you're also going to need some marketing skills and some sales skills, talking to people, most probably, either in the printed word or actually getting on the phone and speaking with them. And so having some tools that perhaps bypass the logical mind and go into the subconscious mind. And I think we see a lot of this online these days. There's some very subconscious things going on, and they are good subconscious things because they're kind of assuming that you are thinking about something and that you want a certain result. So the more you practice, the better you'll become. That might be something you would say as a parent. The more you practice, the better you'll become. Well, if that person, if that child, if that young adult wants to become better, then that's a great subliminal, subconscious message that you're giving to them, right? But you can take that kind of language to a client. So, for example, if you're somebody who's focusing on peak performance, then when you prioritize your goals, your business will fly. So you're not telling them what goals to prioritize on, but subconsciously they're thinking of, okay, what are my priorities because I want that outcome. So every step has some sub-steps in them. So even the language that your audience will speak, the lingo that they use is going to connect with them. You'll also want to be connecting with their end result that they are looking for. All right. So if you start to think of those sentences that are going to get past that logical mind and into the subconscious, it is going to help them to have a breakthrough. So, talking of breakthroughs, perhaps you could say something like, oh, because you're giving me so many objections, it's clear that you want to make a breakthrough. So subconsciously, they're thinking, okay, yeah, I'm pushing all of this. And actually, it normally is. People will come up with an objection, they'll come up with a reason that they can't do something. But actually, what they're really wanting is to be able to break through that time barrier, that money barrier, that limiting belief that they've got. And you're there to help them to break through that, if that's what you do. And if that's what you do, it's helping them by saying something like that, right? So from giving me all of these objections, it's clear that you want to have a breakthrough. So let's work on that. Right. The first thing that you said was you don't have enough time. Tell me more about that. Let's see if we can find a solution to your belief that you don't have enough time. Do you feel that we can work together and overcome that? Are you willing to overcome that belief so that you can get to where you want to in your business? Not telling them that they have to or they need to, but asking them. So there are just a few things that you can use and then start to write them down for your business. You know, what does this mean? If they're doing this behavior, what does that actually mean? If they are, I can see that you're nodding, and that means that you are agreeing with what I'm saying, and therefore I can see that this program is right for you. It might not be those exact words, but try and find something that is going to make an impact to you when you're speaking to somebody, because when you impact somebody, which is what we want to do, we want to have that positive impact as quickly as possible, they're going to get that result faster. And it might be a result that they haven't had for years and sometimes decades. And if that's you, then ask yourself those questions. How can I overcome this belief that I have that I don't have enough money to get started, that I don't have enough knowledge to get started, that I don't have enough time to get started? What does that actually mean? And reflect to yourself, if you were coaching you, what question would you ask? What would you say? So I'm going to leave you with that. There will be another video coming up on screen. So I'll see you over there. In the meantime, write down some reflections on this and maybe get 10 sentences that you could use either on yourself to help you break through or to use with potential clients to help them to have a breakthrough. Whether they decide to work with you or not, if they get that breakthrough, that is fantastic. I'll see you soon. Have an awesome day.